Right when political power collides with media independence, sparks are bound to fly. And this time, the fallout landed squarely between the Trump administration and one of America's most influential magazines. What started as a set of interviews quickly turned into a public clash over credibility, control, and who gets to shape the narrative in Washington. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down a story that goes beyond headlines and dives into the mechanics of modern political media battles. A Vanity Fair writer has forcefully pushed back after criticism from the Trump administration over interviews involving Susie Wiles, a key Republican strategist and a central figure in Trump world. This isn't just about one article or one interview. It's about perception, power, and the fine line journalists walk when covering political insiders. From the outside, the story's exterior appearance is classic Washington drama. You have a high-profile publication, Vanity Fair, known for its deep political reporting and access-driven journalism. On the other side, you have the Trump administration, historically aggressive toward media outlets it believes portray it unfairly. The criticism aimed at the Susie Wiles interviews was not subtle. Trump allies reportedly questioned the framing, the intent, and even the legitimacy of the coverage, suggesting bias and misrepresentation. The Vanity Fair writer's response, however, was swift and unapologetic, signaling confidence in the reporting and a refusal to back down. Visually, this clash looks like another media versus Trump moment, but beneath the surface, it's more calculated and revealing. Stepping inside the story, the interior details matter. But briefly, at its core, the interviews with Susie Wiles offered insight into strategy, influence, and internal dynamics within Trump's political orbit. And the writer defended the accuracy in sourcing without embellishment. When it comes to performance, this is where the story truly accelerates. The Vanity Fair writer's response wasn't defensive in a weak sense. It was assertive and controlled. Rather than retreating or softening language, the writer emphasized journalistic standards, fact-checking, and editorial independence. This performance played well with media critics and press freedom advocates who see such pushback as essential in an era where journalists are often pressured by political power. The Trump administration, for its part, performed exactly as expected, continuing a long-standing pattern of challenging unfavorable coverage. Both sides operated at full throttle, and the public response reflected that intensity. Social media engagement surged, cable news panels debated the issue, and the story took on a life beyond the original interviews. Safety features in this context aren't about physical protection, but reputational and institutional safeguards. Vanity Fair stands behind its editorial process, legal review, and sourcing protocols, which act as built-in protections against political backlash. The writer's response relied heavily on these safeguards, signaling that the publication had confidence in its reporting, standing up to scrutiny. For journalists, these safety features are critical. Without them, responding to a powerful administration could risk careers or credibility. On the administration's side, the safety mechanism is its loyal base, which often rallies behind claims of media bias, insulating officials from broader criticism. Both sides are protected in different ways, making confrontations like this more likely and more frequent. What really makes this story stand out are its unique selling points. First, Susie Wiles herself is not a random figure. She's a behind-the-scenes power broker, and coverage of her role naturally draws attention from Trump loyalists who prefer certain dynamics remain unexamined. Second, the response from the Vanity Fair writer wasn't filtered through corporate statements or vague comments. It was direct, personal, and public. That authenticity resonated with audiences tired of carefully sanitized media responses. Third, this incident highlights a broader cultural moment where journalists are increasingly expected to defend not just their work, but the very concept of independent reporting. The story sells itself because it taps into ongoing debates about truth, bias, and power in American politics. In terms of price, while there's no dollar figure attached, there is a cost. For Vanity Fair, the price is continued tension with a political movement that commands massive influence. For the writer, the price includes heightened scrutiny, online criticism, and potential targeting. For the Trump administration, The price is reinforcing a narrative of hostility toward the press, which can energize supporters but alienate moderates. And for the audience, the price is navigating an increasingly polarized information environment where every story is contested. Everyone involved pays something, whether in credibility, capital, or public trust. As the dust settles, the conclusion of this episode offers a clear takeaway. This wasn't just a writer firing back. It was a statement about boundaries. The Vanity Fair writer drew a line, asserting that political pressure would not rewrite reported facts or silence legitimate inquiry. The Trump administration's criticism, while expected, once again highlighted its contentious relationship with the media. Together, these actions reinforce a reality of modern American politics. Media and power are locked in a constant push and pull, and neither side is backing down anytime soon. Ultimately, this story matters because it shows how journalism functions under pressure. It demonstrates that interviews are not just conversations, they're battlegrounds for narrative control. Whether you side with the writer, the administration, or remain skeptical of both, one thing is certain. Moments like these shape how information is produced, challenged, and consumed. And as long as political influence and media scrutiny coexist, stories like this will continue to emerge, reminding us why a free and assertive press remains central to the American democratic experience.